Hey, it's Frenemies. We're back.
We're back. I get to kill you today.
Why?
10 ways to kill you.
Oh, because what we're doing.
Should I, throughout the episode, find ways to kill you? Like, see that light fall on your head, strangle you with the microphone cord, slap the laptop?
This isn't Final Destination. We're just doing an Addams Family bit.
I'm always thinking about ways to die.
Wow. Do we win some award for that or what?
Where's our Oscar?
That was a bit cringe. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Do We Know Them? Episode 19. Spooky Halloween edition. Ooh.
If you couldn't tell, that's Jessie Smiles.
Hi, I'm Jessie Smiles. I look like a hideous beast.
And I'm Lily Marston, or Trisha Paytas and Ethan.
Guys, we had to pay homage to Frenemies, one of the greatest, yes, short-lived, of course, podcasts of all time, but it was iconic in arguably the worst way ever. It was like a train wreck nobody could look away from.
It feels like such a fever dream looking back now.
It does. And I mean, I was on it. Like every week I watched. Did you watch Frenemies?
Yes. Like, honestly, I haven't watched the H3 podcast that much, but I have watched a lot of Frenemies. I think I probably watched
I think there's a lot of people who are like that. So I have always been an H3 watcher, but the Frenemies era was just, you had to be there. It's not the same looking back. But anyway, so we are dressed as they were dressed for their final episode. And it's just so funny because every time they got in their huge like blowout fights, Ethan was dressed as Uncle Fester. Like, what are the fucking odds? It happened twice.
Well, and I was
One
gonna
time
say,
he was bald.
You know, we were pretty thorough, I think, with our outfits. They might not look that great, but we did like check all the boxes, I think.
We definitely tried.
But
I was thinking like my costume of Ethan's costume, like it's like a game of telephone. If you look at the reference photo, the original one, it just gets worse when they did it and then even worse when we did it.
I told you, even when I was looking on Amazon, it was like, by the way, I'm looking for what Trisha wore, not what the character wore. No, I was going to say the one thing we did leave out though is we haven't ordered pizza.
And we won't, because I think that's what curses them. I honestly do. It's the pizza curse. But this, of course, was, I think it was episode 39, iconic. And it was, I mean, so bad. This episode was like so hard to watch. It was, of course, the legendary 5%. Us on this podcast, we are 50-50. We're not 45-55. But then again, we don't have a crew and we don't have any sort of producers or anything. It's
true.
just us.
I think back to every time there was a fight on Frenemies. I feel like a lot of people might think, oh, maybe they were doing it for attention. Maybe they were doing it for views. No, you could feel the awkwardness.
I mean, what do
tension.
people think? Trisha's like a fucking award-winning actress? Like, you can tell things were serious. Now, it was honestly like whiplash though, because you wouldn't even really know how that happened. Like, it would go from 0 to 1,000 with Trisha, and you'd just be like, wait, what? Why is everyone screaming and running away? Like,
it's funny because the reason I liked it is because they actually, like, they had really good chemistry. And I feel like it was really unexpected. And I think even they found it a little unexpected. I think what was so sad about it ending, or like anytime they had fights or there was breaks or anything, was you were watching it and it was so clearly a misunderstanding on both parts. Like, neither of them were trying to offend the other one, but they were just saying all of the wrong things. And then it was just like, before you knew it, then it was over and you couldn't do anything.
Did you ever watch that episode where Dr. Drew came on and tried to be their fucking therapist? I was like raging.
No,
like,
actually.
I wanted to go. What? Oh my God.
I'm like, I know what I'm doing tonight.
I don't know if he like has some sort of admiration. Is that a word? No, it can't be.
I don't know what you just said.
I don't know if he's in love with Trisha Paytas is what I was trying to say. But he literally gave Ethan 0 credit anywhere and was just like, Trisha is in the right. And like, Ethan, if you know that she's this way, like, why would you provoke her? Why would you do this? Why would you do that? I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like, I'm sorry, but that's just not the way it went down. And it was so frustrating to watch. And he got like reamed. But yeah, you have to watch that episode. It's infuriating.
Most of the time I saw them having disagreements, it was very much Trisha taking something Ethan said, very much not how he meant it.
It happened too with Ethan and Nikocado Avocado, where Ethan's gonna push the joke as far as he can push it. And as far as you'll let him push it.
Yeah.
So like if he knows something's like a definite no, then he'll stop. But until then, and until you clearly say, hey, don't joke about that or don't do that, he's gonna push it for content.
Yeah.
I get people who think that that's shitty, but it's also his job. You know what I mean? Like, it literally is just the dynamic of the show. So it just was not a good mix in the end. And it's going to be legendary when we make it to episode 40 because we'll we'll pass them.
I was going to say, thank God that this isn't episode 39. It would feel like a bad omen, but no, just 19.
I know, but we're actual friends. They weren't friends when they started this. They actually hated each other, hence the name, frenemies. Yes. But I hope you like the set. We definitely tried.
I hope it looks okay. You guys, we borrowed green screens. This is what it actually looks like right now. No. That is how the sausage is made.
This is not a spooky episode by any means. We don't really have. I was kind of trying to think of something Halloween themed we could do. Couldn't think of.
It just happens to be Halloween. It's not even actually Halloween. I don't think. What day?
Yeah, tomorrow's Halloween.
Happy early Halloween.
Do us a favor and tag us on Twitter or DM us on Instagram with your costumes. And if they're funny or something, we can show them next episode because I love Halloween.
Same.
And I love Halloween costumes. Although I've honestly skipped out on Halloween in the last 3 years. Or when did I have Noah? 5 years. So ever since Noah was born, I just gave up on Halloween. I was like, forget it.
I was just thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, I love Halloween. And I'm like, actually, I don't really like it that much. I like seeing other people enjoy it.
Anyway, Lily, you don't know what today's episode is on, do you?
No, Jessie has compiled the entire Google Doc.
Well, Jessie is not very good at compiling Google Docs. So Jessie compiled something. But today, we're going to be talking about a quick little update on Ned Fulmer because some new information came out. It was pretty fucking wild. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it by now, but it's just it's too good to not share because we've already, talked about everything else. That's first. Then we're going to talk about Kylie Jenner and the Travis Scott cheating rumors. You know about that?
Yeah.
And then this is the third topic, or we can talk about this before the Kylie Jenner one. But it also involves a member kind of the family friend, if you will, at this point, Blac Chyna, where she allegedly tried to kidnap and sex traffic Ava Louise.
I did see something about that now that you say that. It does ring a bell.
It's insane. So we're going to get into everything. And do you want to take it away first with that? I love how I'm just like, she tried to sex traffic her. Lily, let's go on with the episode. I mean, it is pretty insane. They do that on the news, I guess, too. They're like, someone died down the street and the weather is breezy.
First to you with the puppies.
But anyway, so do you want to take away the Ned Fulmer thing? Because you are the one, I had already seen it when you sent it to me, but you know about it. So you want to take it away?
I already saw it when you sent it to me because I know everything.
You were late. I mean, you sent it to me 2 days after I saw it. Did you learn about it through Marky? Because that's how I learned about it too.
No, I think someone tweeted it to me. I don't know. But you guys, if you are living under a rock and you didn't watch the last episode, we already talked about Ned cheated on his wife with one of his employees, which a lot of people, including, we haven't even talked about the SNL skit, but the fact that in that they try and go, his friends are mad because he kissed someone else. It's like, okay, you're missing a lot of layers there. But
SNL missing the mark? Never.
So badly. So it's founder of the company hooking up with an employee that is on camera with him. Guess who else is on camera? Ned's wife, who he has brought into this company and made a whole part of everything, including his entire personality, which was, I love my wife. We already knew that he was having these blatant lunch dates with Alex. He then got caught, and the reason all of this came to light was that they went to a Harry Styles concert in New York. They were at a club afterwards and got caught making out. Apparently, that is not the only thing they were doing in public. You guys, I don't even know how someone did the detective work to get to how we knew that this was the thing. But basically, someone found a Nextdoor. If you don't know, Nextdoor is an app that, it's a neighborhood app that if there's burglaries or if a weird character's walking down the street, that it's basically warning of things going on. I think there's probably positive stuff too. Maybe there's garage sales and stuff. But basically, it's usually negative. But someone finds this post from the Nextdoor app, and it is of a Tesla, which, come to find, matches the same license plate of Ned's Tesla that we saw in the paparazzi video just recently. The caption for this Nextdoor app post is that someone is having sex in their car in the middle of the afternoon when families are walking around.
Yeah, and then someone screenshotted it from that app and tweeted it. Just into the abyss, not a person with a large following, just tweeted it. How the fuck do people find this shit?
I actually didn't even look of when it was tweeted. And at the time, I hadn't looked of even when it was posted on the Nextdoor app. But I just saw, I think probably in the video, I think it was Marky's video I was watching. Apparently, that Nextdoor app post is from May, which is the same month that he had his lunch dates with her. But more specifically, someone found out that it's Also, within a week of when they were shooting because also the post says that the location is Hancock Park.
Wait, but I think you breezed by it too quick that people linked his fucking license plate that this is 100% Ned Fulmer's car.
Yes.
Not allegedly.
No, 100%. I was joking even when Jesse and I were texting about it, being like, well, I'm going to assume it's not Ariel and him in the car.
Of course it's not Ariel. Fuck. Let me tell you something, okay? Not that like you lose all romance and you're never gonna have sex with your husband again. I hate that narrative of marriage, okay? That's not true for everyone. But you're gonna tell me you have 2 kids and you're fucking in broad daylight in a car? He ain't fucking his wife in there. I'll tell you that much, because everybody loves a good adventure, but
the only reason people are having sex in a car is because they don't have somewhere else to go.
Yes, because they're in high school.
I was going to say because they're children or because they're having an affair. Very unrealistic. So you have to assume there was something going on that was the only place they could go. Well, and then also it says that it's in Hancock Park, which I don't know where they live, but I assumed when I saw it, it was like in his neighborhood or something. No, someone found out, the detective work of everyone online is very impressive. Someone found out that apparently within that same week, the Try Guys were shooting in Hancock Park and they were doing like living in a mansion for a day or something. Then you look at that video, guess who arrives together?
Hello. Hey guys!
It's so bizarre. And the internet, wow, amazing. You've really outdone yourself. How do you figure that out?
Like he's probably so mad.
Oh, 100%. Well, and the thing is, like, all the times there's like a bunch of clips that don't make sense until you know what you know. Like, how many people take a bite out of your pizza if you're just like coworkers? Like, I mean, maybe some people. I think we've done that.
I was gonna say, I don't know. I was really I'm tattooed on one of my old coworkers' butts.
Guys. Okay, so if you're ever in like a steam room with strangers, what are you gonna tell them about this tattoo? I feel like it's a great story.
What are you gonna tell your kid?
It's a foursome.
With them, it's just so funny because when you do get the context later, it's like, oh.
Oh, 100%. She like laid on his lap and stuff. Like,
That
just
was
shit
weird.
you
That
wouldn't
was
do.
weird.
Honestly, I have never been a person that enjoys public fornication due to the fact that I have a lot of anxiety. Like, how am I going to feel? Like, I need to feel comfortable during the act. How am I going to feel comfortable when I'm worried that we're going to get arrested for public indecency, especially at 5 p.m. in broad daylight when there's people walking around? Like, it just comes back to the question of like, why the fuck is he the way that he is? And her too. Like, why the fuck were they so comfortable?
And why was May such a big month for them?
I think they maybe like decided that they were going to leave their significant others or something, like, because they got so ballsy that month.
I feel like even if they were at the point where Ariel was like, like, I'll work on forgiving you and like, we can work on things. If then this came out, I would be like, never mind. Bye.
Also, I am boiling in this fucking turtleneck.
You can take it off if you'd like.
No, absolutely not. I'm committed to this role. But so we were buying everything from Amazon, and then this white blazer, Lily linked me to one. It was like $45. I was like, hell no. So I went to Goodwill and I found this. It was like right when I walked in, it was Kismet. It was right there. It was $5.
Honestly, I'm really impressed with how we put this whole thing together.
Me too.
This hat, you guys, this was a DIY. I did my makeup. I don't know what it looks like now, so I don't know how
Looks
proud I
wonderful.
should be, but
The lady at the cashier was such a lying bitch. She told me this blazer was cute. I was like, bitch, no, it's not. She was very
you say
nice.
that to everyone.
But I found it for $5. I was super excited. So I was wearing it downstairs waiting for Lily to do her makeup. And I just casually put my hands in the pockets and out came a used tissue. I shit you not. It was all crumpled up and I wanted to vomit. So anyway.
That's disgusting.
Was that worth saving $40? No, it wasn't.
Also, I'd forgotten about the hat situation, so I had to like run to Michael's today. So I like just gotten back and Jessie texted me a picture of her in full makeup.
I've been in full makeup for hours. I took a nap like this.
I don't know why you got ready so early.
I wanted to just, when you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. And I was just like, I just want to be ready already. But I wanted to
I don't think that saying applies to that look.
I think it does. I also wanted to see how my daughter and my son would react. And they loved it.
How did they?
Oh, they loved it.
Really?
Oh, smiling, all jolly. They were like, this is amazing.
You kind of look like a zombie berries and cream.
Yeah. Well, my daughter at first was kind of like low-key like this. And then all I had to do was show her my boobs. And she's like, oh my God, it's mom. But anyway, so I guess we should jump into, to the fact that this is a Halloween episode, we should jump into the Ava Louise Blac Chyna thing because that's pretty fucking spooky.
Here, wait. Can I grab a new beverage?
No. Really yes, absolutely.
Thanks.
Okay, so buckle in because anytime we mention Ava Louise, it's a lot. But if you don't know, we've mentioned Ava Louise, I think once or twice on this podcast because
she's the toilet licker.
She's the toilet licker. And she's also, you know, the one that was going to like hook up with Monty Lopez. She was going to do like the first OnlyFans collab that he was going to put on his OnlyFans. It was a whole thing.
Quite the resume.
I'm actually kind of ashamed of myself. And I want to be honest about that thought process because a lot of you guys, when we mention Ava Louise's name, probably think the same thing I was thinking, which is like everything she says is a lie. Like that's how I felt. Like before I heard anything, my brother told me about this and I was like, she's a clout chaser. She lies for attention. That's literally her brand.
But this case, she's not?
Well, I guess I'll leave it up to everyone else. But this does involve, I mean, it doesn't involve SA or anything like that. It just involves a woman in a very uncomfortable situation that could have potentially been worse. But let's reserve all judgment, and I implore you to do the same. Let's just listen to what she has to say, and then probably pause 1,000 times with our opinions. Okay.
Blac Chyna held me hostage, and I'm pretty sure she was trying to sex traffic me.
Right into
This is the only time in my life I've ever felt real fear, and it is the scariest thing that has ever happened to me. I finally feel safe enough to share the story because this happened back on August 10th, and it's been a little bit of time. I don't have time to go into the details, but Chyna and I met on Instagram. As you can see, we were DMing. I ended up sending her my number. She FaceTimed me at 3 a.m. LA time. My best friend, Alex Marker, was on the FaceTime call as well. As you can see, Blac Chyna follows my best friend, Alex Marker, on Instagram. So while Chyna was FaceTiming with me and Alex, she invited me over to her house at 4 a.m. In hindsight, going to Blac Chyna's house at 4 a.m. was probably stupid, but I'm me. I love a good adventure, and come on, who's gonna turn down going to Blac Chyna's house and meeting Dream Kardashian?
Less stupid and more weird.
That sentence was a bit weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, who's gonna turn down going to Blac Chyna meeting Dream Kardashian? Isn't Dream like 4 years old? Who the fuck wants to meet a 4-year-old ever? I mean,
I honestly don't
kids,
even know who Dream Kardashian is. I'm kidding. It's
Lily.
Robert Kardashian's kid.
Oh my God. I was like, you can't be serious.
Also, again, I wouldn't say that it was like like, it's not like, oh, you went to Blac Chyna's house at 4 a.m., you dumb bitch. Like, that's not.
I feel like that's a reasonable hour to go to Blac Chyna's house.
I feel like going to Blac Chyna's house in general is kind of weird. So it doesn't really, like, the time doesn't seem that strange to me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, true.
Story checks out so far.
But going at 4 a.m. to meet Dream Kardashian? That's weird, because Dream's probably asleep.
Yes.
Long story short, I get there, I have to sign an NDA, but this NDA was unlike any other NDA I've ever signed in my life. I had to put down all kinds of identifying features about myself on this NDA, like my eye color, my hair color, my height, what I was wearing. I was like, okay, this is really strange. Right after I signed the NDA is when Chyna very intimidatingly said, all the stories you read about me kidnapping people are true. Now, I've never seen any stories about Chyna kidnapping people.
Wait, what?
So let me pause. Are you familiar with the Blac Chyna kidnapping saga?
No.
Okay, neither was I. But I have to... There was a video a couple months back. Do you recall? We never talked about it. But I remember seeing it, I think, on TikTok, where there was a woman standing outside of Blac Chyna's hotel room, like screaming and trying to like escape type of thing. Let me pull it up. Okay, so I remember that. And so when this came up, it was weird to me. I'm like, wait a second, this is the second Blac Chyna crazy hostage situation that I've seen.
And I will say that in my head, I'm kind of like, why the fuck would Blac Chyna be involved in sex trafficking and stuff? But human trafficking and sex trafficking is a very lucrative business. And I feel like she just lost that lawsuit and she doesn't have any money, does she?
Well, it's pretty notorious that she doesn't have money and is kind of a snake for money. Like,
Yeah,
she's done it to rob.
I guess it's not that surprising.
No, and I mean, she also, I mean... How do I say this without sounding mean? I think that Blac Chyna is...
I don't think Blac Chyna is going to see this.
I don't think so either. You don't think she's subscribed? I think she's involved with some fucked up shit. I think that if you've ever seen... I'm not sure which, because there's so many Kardashian spin-off crazy shows, but there was briefly a Rob Kardashian Chyna show in the beginning.
I think that's what she was suing for because they didn't pick it up for another season.
I just feel like when I watched that and I saw her dynamic with Rob, honestly, they showed her mom too on the show and it was like really intense. Her mom is like fucking awful and really fucked up and really trashy. I don't know how else to say the word. It's just trashy.
Do it again, bitch. I'm gonna fuck you up. Get out my house. Bye, bitch. Bye. I'm gone. I hate you. Both ass bitch. The fuck? Get me the fuck out of here.
Also, I feel like there's a certain breed of person that is so obsessed with money and like will do anything to get, I mean, I think that's like most people, but I think she thought Rob Kardashian like was going to be her meal ticket and then.
Well, and then you even hear about her losing the majority of custody from Dream. I'm not sure if that's true or if it's not true.
I hope so, if she's sex trafficking people.
That's what people were saying in the comments. Like they were definitely concerned for Dream because Dream was here as the rest of this took place. But anyway, so this is the video that I was mentioning of someone outside of, this is the video I saw of some woman outside of Blac Chyna's hotel room.
Come on, Jen, let's go. Come on.
Yeah, and you're gonna stand outside.
No, we're not.
That was Blac Chyna right there.
You crazy? Nah, that's crazy. I'm so sorry, Jennifer. Come on, baby. It's not your fault.
Sorry.
It's not you. It's you didn't do this. She did this. I'm not going in there. Her. I wanted to kick the door in.
I guess the story behind that is Ron Knighton, who's the person that was taking the videos, told whoever that wrote this article that we're reading that he and his female companion attended a China-hosted Black Friday party just outside Sacramento. He said that him and his friend were then invited back to her hotel room for drinks, and Chyna soon got agitated, alleging that she appeared high on cocaine. And at that point, he says that he and his friend decided to leave and that he walked out first, which made Chyna close the door behind him and just kept her there in the fucking hotel room. She got scared. Obviously, she's drunk or under the influence of something, that girl. And she's obviously terrified. I mean, especially if you're going back to a celebrity's hotel room just for fun and all that shit, for it to end in tears like that, I don't care how drunk you are, some shit went down. I don't know what the fuck Chyna did, but after we see the Ava Louise thing, maybe we're gonna get a glimpse into what Chyna does, but it's weird as fuck.
Yeah, this is super strange.
All of this to say, this is not the first time any of this has happened. So this is what I had heard of, but I guess there's more rumors that she's done this to other women. Of course she has, because this can't be it. You know, you don't just do things like this casually.
This is such a weird, like, what?
Right? So going back to Ava Louise's video to continue on with what she was saying.
I got a gut feeling I was in danger, but there was nothing I could do because I was in a gated home. I couldn't unlock the gate and get out. This is the only photo I have from inside Chyna's house. It was in her guest house, like a sign.
Okay, already weird.
Yeah, so there's like it's not that bad if you actually read what it was said. I don't know if you want to read it, but it's really not that bad.
Well, the first line, it's, please be mindful and respectful of Chyna beautiful guest house, not China's.
I mean, I'm not looking for Blac Chyna to nail any grammar test. I'm just gonna be honest.
Then it says, this is not a hotel, and hotel is in caps. You would think not might be, but okay. Clean up after yourself is 2 words. Don't leave wet towels on the floor. Leave used towels in main house located in laundry room. Is the main house located in the laundry room? Please turn off lights when done. Do not light candles ever. That's kind of a weird request.
Yeah, what is this, like a meth house? Like, why can't you light a candle? Is everything gonna
Something gonna blow up? Yeah. Please throw away trash and food at all times that you bring in. This is definitely the person that wrote this does not speak English.
Yeah, 100%.
Clean up after yourself, 2 words again, after smoking ashes. Ask Chyna in advance before bringing people to her house so that she has that option if she wants extra people here or not. Please do not turn on the AC unless instructed to by Chyna.
That one's low-key cheap. I mean, come on. Chyna, you're rich. What are you, my dad?
I feel like you probably shouldn't have to put that. Who goes to someone's house and turns on their air?
Do I do that? I just don't like to be hot. I don't think I do that. I would ask. I would definitely ask.
I guess maybe if you're staying in like a guest house, whatever.
Right.
Irrelevant, not important. The last one makes sense. It says, please ask about going live before going live on social media.
That should have been the only one.
Yeah.
My phone was on 3% and she wouldn't let me charge it, so there was really nothing I could do. I was really screwed. For 6 hours, Chyna held me hostage. She drank an entire bottle of Casamigos in front of me. She wouldn't let me be alone. Every time she had to use the bathroom, she would make me go into the bathroom with her. She took shits in front of me. She forced me to take a wet towel and wipe off all of my makeup. She was doing weird things all night, like comparing our hand sizes and trying on my shoes. She kept telling me that I had to stay until 10 a.m. because that's when Dream was going to be out of the home, and she was going to go crazy on me at 10 a.m. She kept saying things like that. I really didn't know what was going on. She kept saying things like, I'll be honest with you about what's going on here once you're honest with me. At about 9:45 a.m., Chyna FaceTimed some woman named Donna, who told me she was in the escorting industry on FaceTime and told me that I was good product. Chyna and her were going back and forth about me. They were under the impression that I was transgender. I am a cisgender female. I don't know how Chyna got that impression. I started texting my friends. I was freaking out. I'm out of time. Like for part 2.
The like for part 2, Jesse.
I probably not necessary, but
it just don't do that. When you're saying your story. I mean, I'm not here to tell anyone how to say their story. I'm just saying don't say like for part 2 because it kind of gives people the impression that you're doing this for clout. Don't say that.
I mean,
but I believe her. I believe her.
Oh, that's so weird.
Too detailed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought too. So then she does.
It's another salad dressing situation.
I know, and I guess enough people liked because we actually did get a part 2.
Part 2 of Blac Chyna holding me hostage and sex trafficking me. Now, a lot of people want to say, oh, Ava, you make up so much stuff. You're lying. I've never made up anything except for the Jeffree Kanye rumor, and that happened 2 years ago, and that was a total joke.
Honestly, she's not lying. I mean, the stuff she does isn't making things up. It's just doing things for attention.
Dude, that is literally... Okay, so when my brother told me this, I was like, she's a fucking liar. Then when she said that, I was like, wait, that's actually low-key true. I mean, the Jeffree Kanye thing was a lie, but she outright came out and said oh, I was lying. That was funny.
Yeah, she owned up to it.
Yeah, so...
The toilet thing, she did.
That was just gross.
Joke kind of gave me such a big platform that I'm able to meet people like Blac Chyna now because of my following and who I know now. Monty. But I would never lie about something like this.
Just
serious.
Monty.
And if you don't believe me, this is a screenshot of my location that my friend took while I was in Chyna's house. If her address is Googleable, I'm sure you can compare. But enough about that. In part 1, I had left off where Donna was on FaceTime with Chyna. Now, I wasn't supposed to hear this phone call with Donna at all. But for context, Chyna had drank an entire bottle of Casamigos in the 6 hours I was in her home. Fully downed the entire bottle, and she was blackout drunk, and she was playing Nickelback music videos on repeat.
Interesting.
I didn't
peg her for a Nickelback fan.
Ava says, guys, she thinks I'm trans, and her friends say, what the fuck? And she says, I think I'm getting sex traffic. And her friends say, oh my God, what, why? ? Bought followers. Magic marker, focus. Man, what are you talking about? Buying followers? Your friend just told you she was getting sex trafficked. But anyway, then Ava messages a guy that she was, I guess, seeing or staying at his place while she was in LA. Because she's from New Jersey, if you didn't know.
Oh, I was going to say, she doesn't live in LA.
So she texts the guy and says, I'm being held hostage by Blac Chyna. And he says, wait, what? LOL. I mean, who does she surround herself with? Would that be your response?
Wait, what?
Okay, LOL
That's the
though.
most absurd thing.
Lily,
because
if I texted you, I'm being held hostage by Blac Chyna, you would say, wait, what? LOL. Say you would right now, because I'll stop being your friend.
I would probably say, huh?
You would say.
No, I don't feel like they're doing it to minimize it. They're like, what? What are you talking about?
I mean, but TBH, this is no offense to you at all, Lily, but you might be the last person I would ever tell that I'm being held hostage by Blac Chyna. It's not like you'd be like, I'm on my way. You would. No. No, you would come get me. That's not the problem. But for instance, if I were to text Nassim, I'm being held hostage by Blac Chyna, he would just immediately go to find my friends, find my address, go find, it would just be a one text situation. I wouldn't have to explain further. You would want to know so much context and be wait, are you serious? Is this a
other
bit?
Than Blac Chyna, I think that I could maybe get straight to coming to rescue you, but that would be the kind of hang up is excuse me? Where are you?
Anyway, well, she texts this guy and he apparently responds like Lily would respond.
Plot twist, it's Monty.
I was staying with in LA, being like, I need you to save me. The times on these screenshots are a little different than like the timeline I'm giving you guys because this happened while I was in LA and I was on LA time and I just took these screenshots.
Lily, are you sure you didn't send these text messages? Because look at the second one. This is so you. She says, yes, she's drunk as fuck. And the guy says, at 9 a.m.? That's literally something you would say.
It is, because imagine getting these text messages. There's no context. It's literally just like, I'm being held hostage by what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, I need to know, what would you guys do if your friend sends you a text message and says, I'm being held hostage by Blac Chyna? What would you respond? I want to know the exact message you would send.
But I also am thinking in terms of, I don't have any friends that would be casually DMing Blac Chyna and going over to her house at 4 a.m. If I was friends with Ava Louise, I feel like maybe I would have possibly a different response. But it would be like getting that text out of nowhere.
Well, you have friends that are
you'd be
influencers. It's not completely not plausible that one of your friends would end up at Blac Chyna's house, is it?
I guess not. But also maybe if it was prefaced by like a help or like, I feel like if I got that, I would think it was a joke.
Yeah.
Like that sounds so absurd.
The one thing I'm finding weird so far, and it's obviously plausible, she could have like, okay, she said she had 3% battery when she got there, right? Or she said when she was there, and she said she was there for 6 hours and she's still able to text someone. I don't know. To me, I'm like, this was 9 or 8 a.m. LA time and she got there at 4 a.m. I do believe her. I just think I'm like, how the fuck did you maintain 3% battery for 6 hours? It's possible, I guess, if you turn your phone off or put it on airplane mode or something.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't last that long. But I would also like to clarify before we continue that, like, if you texted me and were like, I'm being held hostage by anyone other than Black. Literally.
Okay. I text you. It is 8:30 my time. Okay, someone takes 5:30 your time. And I say, I'm being held hostage by Garth Brooks. You see? I would never text you. You wouldn't believe me.
Garth Brooks?
You said anyone but Blac Chyna.
Jesus Christ. Move on.
But so I had texted the guy I was staying with this, and my phone was probably on 2% at this point. I'm frozen in fear. Chyna's going back and forth with this Donna woman about how much I'm worth and like if I'm trans or not, and they were arguing and I didn't know what to do. The guy I was staying with immediately called me and he's like, run. Chyna's grabbing at my phone. I'm staying on the phone with him. I know my phone's about to die, and I ran. I ran out of the house and I ran to the gate and I hopped over the gate, threw myself over that gate with everything left in me, and I ran down the street and I hid behind a bush. And then the guy I was staying with was able to help me like get home.
So people obviously started calling her out for this and not believing her. And I mean, it's just kind of the nature of doing things the way she does them. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's just you want that attention. You're going to get it good or bad. When you need, you know, positivity and support, people are still going to react the same way they reacted when you lick the toilet.
The boy who cried wolf.
People get fatigued on the internet. You know, we can only keep up for so long. And you see it with Trisha Paytas and all sorts of things where it's like, how many times are people going to give you a chance? Like, we don't have that kind of time or stamina.
Well, and when it's someone like Ava Louise who clearly is very open about the fact that she's willing to do anything for clout, and that everything she does do is not like normal things people do for clout. Like, she gets very creative with it. She thinks outside the box when she's getting her clout. This is another one that's like, when you're like, licks a toilet seat, dating Monty Lopez, like, and then you see this and you're like, what? I get why people would doubt it, but back to what we said, she doesn't lie usually.
Well, and also, I mean, it's very, very detailed in the sense of the NDA being, you know, wanting to know how she looked and her physical details, to like Blac Chyna comparing her hand size to her, trying on her shoes, taking a shit in front of Ava Louise because she didn't want Ava Louise to be like by herself in her house. That's fucking insane. Like, how do you just think of shit like that? When you have someone like Blac Chyna too, who's involved allegedly in this sex trafficking world, it's even scarier than if you're just at the grocery store and you're like thinking that the man is like across the aisles like eyeing you down. You know, it's scarier to have someone of this caliber be involved in this because
like, who does she know?
Yeah, and also she is involved in sex work and she is an OnlyFans creator, and that brings in a lot of people because collabs are huge for OnlyFans. So you don't know how many girls she's doing this to. You know, you have maybe 50 subscribers on OnlyFans and Blac Chyna hits you up. And actually I saw in a bunch of Ava Louise's comments saying like, oh, so this is why Blac Chyna looked at my story. And like saying like, oh, Blac Chyna was like lurking on my page and whatever. And when you have someone of this influence who can just send a simple DM and just be like, yo, come to my mansion, you know, and be that influential, it's scary.
I 100% believe that she's doing all this.
Yeah, it's
not doubting it at all.
It's so scary. But anyway, so someone asked, by the way, full disclosure, that's the end of Ava Louise's actual story of that night. Like there is nothing further from that night. She ran, the guy picked her up and that was it. But she did post a couple more TikToks. And basically someone commented on her TikTok saying, valid question, why didn't you call the cops? And she said, I was terrified. I didn't know she thought I was an escort or anything. I know nothing about the world. I'm just a micro influencer from New Jersey. Like there's a bunch of details from convos I don't feel like reliving on TikTok right now, but I didn't feel safe calling 911. I was just scared as fuck. I didn't know what to do. I texted my friends for help.
When you're in a situation like that, I feel like you call 911 before anything happens. What are they going to do?
I'm sorry. Are there like a long list of people that feel safe calling 911? I mean, I'm not here to like make a political statement or something. I don't feel safe calling 911. There are multiple times that the cops have tried to literally under false pretenses like hurt my husband.
When I think 911, I think more of for like, I would call it for like a medical emergency, not for
100%. I've called 911 to like, because fire department, epic, love them. But police it could be scary inviting them into a situation that's like potentially a hostage situation or like something like that. You don't shame someone for not calling the police in those situations.
Or just the fact that like calling them, then they get there. But like, if she hasn't been sex trafficked, like if nothing has happened, if you're just really like
100%
suspicious,
yeah,
and even if you're positive something weird is gonna happen, but it doesn't, they can't do anything. Literally, someone could break into your house and leave, and if they didn't do anything, then it's like
that's a super good point.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's 100%. Like it makes sense that she wanted to just text her friends. But I mean, again, her reputation precedes her, and that's why people are doubting her so much. Doesn't make it right. It's just what it is. And then she got a comment that said the latest clout chase, and she replied like this.
For everyone thinking that I'm lying, this is a screenshot I posted in part 2, and like my location wasn't 100% accurate. But this is like a second screenshot my friend took of my location, like when I was texting him, like scared because I was getting trafficked. And look at the house, like I was in the guest part of the house, and compare it to Blac Chyna's house. I was in her house. How could I fake that?
I mean, you could fake that, but I don't think
Photoshop it very easily.
And then this was her latest TikTok on it.
I'm just going to come out and I'm going to share with you guys all why I decided to come out with this story. Last time I was in LA, I was introduced to a girl who was in a very similar situation as me. Someone with more power and influence than her. She was just like an Instagram model, invited her over and was offering help in the industry. She went and she ended up getting brutally assaulted, and I want to make this clear that this girl was the perfect victim. She did everything right. She went to the police. She filed reports. She did everything she could. And then when she came forward with her story and spoke about it on Instagram, the guy who did this to her got her Instagram deleted. But before she got her Instagram deleted, so many girls came forward and told her that the same thing happened to them. And she told me specifically that if she had known that this stuff was happening, she never would have gone over to his house. I took my videos down because someone Chyna was associated with sent me this threat to deplatform me if I kept telling my story.
You have to stop posting about what you've been posting. It's not worth losing the check and then possibly your page. I can always try and help get it back, but not worth the hassle. Feel me?
Weird threat. I mean, very, you know.
I'm gonna get your page taken away. I might help you get it back, but...
Oh yeah, what the fuck? Honestly, I actually don't take that as a threat. I take that as someone being like, yo, like, you're gonna lose your shit. And
it's
like,
that they know someone else is going to get her account deleted, so...
That's what the vibe I'm getting, not so much like, if you don't stop posting, I'm gonna take down your page and then also help you get
Does
it back.
Blac Chyna know people that work at Instagram?
I mean, probably.
Like, I don't feel like she's like that connected to like the business world.
But anyway.
To me, innocent people don't try and take away someone's livelihood, but that's exactly what happened to my friend. Deplatforming someone, scaring them into silence, sending them legal letters and stuff is like a way to get people to shut up so they can continue whatever behavior they're doing. If I had seen this story, I never would have gone to her house. I never would have traumatized myself. And I'm really lucky, I think, based off of my perception of the events, months that I got out. But I didn't see this story. There wasn't enough awareness around it. So I ended up in what I perceived to be a very dangerous situation. I'm not sharing my story for follows. I'm not sharing my story for clout. I'm sharing this because whether you believe me or not, I'm hoping it puts some doubt in people's heads before they put themselves in a similar situation.
That was the last TikTok she posted on it. I guess all in all, I believe that she went through this. I think Blac Chyna's into some weird fucking shit. We say this every time, but things don't happen just once this crazily, like just out of nowhere. Like this is something that happens.
There's not like coincidentally a few news stories that are all fake, that are all like, oh, Blac Chyna. No, where there's smoke, there's fire. Usually.
Yep. I get it. A lot of people, and her comments are flooded with a bunch of people telling her like, oh, you're just a clout chaser. This is what you do. I don't get that vibe. I mean, I literally have called her a clout goblin. I think you called her a see you next Tuesday on this show at one point.
After I saw what she said to Addison, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'll say now, I believe her.
Yeah, same.
Think this seems legit. It sucks that it is Ava Louise that came forward with it, because I feel like a lot of people won't take it seriously because of that.
She doesn't have fault because people don't believe her, but it's just so important to be authentic online, like to show who you really fucking are. And I get it. Characters sometimes make people more money, because maybe Ava Louise is right about the fact that if she sits in front of a camera and is like authentically Ava Louise, maybe that wouldn't make her any money. And I get that.
Yeah.
But it might, and it also would gain her a lot of respect, and I think that that's more valuable, honestly, if you're asking me, but she's not. However, I do believe her. And also, if you think about it, I mean, this did happen in August. So September, October, we're almost in November. So she held on to this for a few months. She obviously was scared and looked, I don't know. I believe her. I feel sad that we even have to like say that just to like, I don't know. Like, obviously I fucking believe her. People don't usually come forward about these things for fun.
Coming forward as being the one that's exposing Blac Chyna for being a sex trafficker without actually being able to expose her, what kind of clout is that getting you?
Yeah. So this next one is, I feel like it's going to annoy people, because I feel like people get annoyed at our like speculation topics, which is like every topic that we cover. But you know what I mean? Like the ones where there's like a lot up in the air and it's like, well, what even are you talking about? That's this topic.
I mean, this is the Travis Scott one.
Yeah.
I feel like my Kardashian threshold is getting lower and lower.
That's fair. No, that's totally fair. And honestly, there's legitimate like essays written on Reddit about this, and people that have deep dived. Let me actually say the name of the person, because I owe them my life, really.
I'm dying just looking over at you and seeing you like that.
I know. Why did you get to play Trisha?
I didn't even ask. You were like, oh, I'll be Ethan.
No. Because I sit on Ethan's side, of course. Well, anyway, this Reddit, the name is I've Been Draken. It's a pun on words instead of drinking.
I get
Draken.
it. I get it.
Okay. All right.
It's funny.
This person went into a 3-part deep dive. I'm talking essays. I'm talking, people have a lot of time on their hands, and I appreciate that, because, you know, I get to just reap the fruits of their... What am I saying?
The fruits of their labor?
Yes. Wow. You see? I just simply don't understand how people can be this invested in this. But anyway.
I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, why wouldn't you like do it in a way you could monetize?
Yeah, like go on YouTube, even if it's anonymously. But yeah, Reddit is not monetized, I'm assuming.
No,
like,
and the people I feel like on Reddit are the most thorough out of like any...
most. We'll never forget. They are the ones that broke the Try Guys news. I mean, they know everything. But anyway, so... There's a lot. And I'm not going to go through it all, because quite frankly, like I would say about a solid 40% of it is just completely bizarre and I'm literally like looking at the pictures they're posting like, wait, what? What do they see here? But anyway, let's introduce who we're talking about, okay? We're talking about Kylie Jenner. We know her. We're talking about Travis Scott. I'm assuming most people know him.
We don't actually know her.
Oh, do we know them? Never. We literally, why is the show called this again? We don't know anybody.
We've really pivoted.
That's a good way to put it. We just completely forget every time to say. And then we started talking about celebrities, which like, obviously we don't know.
When I thought of the title, I thought like it could literally mean, do we know them? But then it could also be like, do we know them? Like, do I know who they are?
I feel like at this point too, our name has kind of, like J-Lo, it sounds so fucking dumb at first and then it kind of caught on. I'm not saying we're J-Lo, but I'm just saying I think
it sounded dumb at first?
It didn't sound dumb at first. It just was like, it didn't like, it wasn't a thing. Now it's a thing.
I saw it in my head and it worked. And
well, no, you're a genius. I mean, you named cheat day and stuff too, right? Yeah. It's true. I am a genius.
I meant it's true that I named cheat day.
Anyway, back to what we're talking about. So Travis Scott is a rapper and also the father of Kylie Jenner's 2 babies. If I'm not mistaken, they split up briefly and then they got back together.
Quick question. Can you name one Travis Scott song?
Yes, I can. It will take me 1 moment. just don't speak.
I'm like, are you Googling?
Yeah, I can.
Because I can't.
No, it's a big one.
Is it?
Okay, guys, so long story short, my audio got super fucked up and we have to do a voiceover for this portion, but you're in luck because honestly, Lily and I rambled for 45 years trying to explain like the beginning of all of this crap. But let's do a super quick TLDR and get this over with so we can continue on with the video. This whole history with Travis Scott and YungSweetRo actually is important because it does lead us to what we're dealing with today, which we'll talk about later in this video. But it all really comes down to the fact that people were able to trace back YungSweetRo and Travis Scott having a relationship since 2013. And granted, a lot of the evidence is a little bit obscure, starting with them both being in Paris at the same time and him posting this picture of a girl covering her face that kind of looks like her, but could also definitely not be her. She likes to geotag a lot of her pictures and show the location that she's at. So using that, a lot of people were able to put her and Travis together in a lot of the same places. This one's kind of ridiculous. It was a picture of her and quote unquote Travis in 2013. And although yes, he did have short hair around that time, it's just like so blurry and ridiculous, and me and Lily were like, could be anybody. But a little bit more solid evidence is that she was backstage at one of his concerts in 2015, and that means that to at least some extent they know each other, they've met. Now this one's a little bit more interesting. So on November 21st, 2015, Travis posted this picture to his Instagram and Ro actually liked it, so she did interact with this post. And then a month later, on December 13th, 2015, she posted this picture on Instagram wearing the same shirt from the picture that she liked. Now, I don't know if this is merch. Did she buy it? Does she just so happen to have the same picture? I don't know, but it's pretty fishy. And then on February 4th, 2016, she tweeted these song lyrics from Travis, but the song that she tweeted did not come out until 6 months later. Another odd thing is that people said that they have matching rings. They do look pretty similar. His obviously is bigger than hers, but people are thinking these are like promise rings or some sort of thing that they got together. On October 1st, 2016, she posted this picture with flowers, but the caption says, "Still hate you though." And then the next day on October 2nd, Travis posts a picture and the caption says, "Love you too." And then in 2018, right around Ro's birthday in March, they allegedly went on a ski trip together. And when you look at the pictures, I mean, it does look like they're in the same place. I mean, just what are the odds that they would both be in a snowy place when they're not from snowy places? Like they don't live in places that snow at the same time, just around her birthday. You know what I'm saying? It's all looking a little fishy. So yeah, that's pretty much all you missed, and you're welcome for not making you sit through me and Lily just gasping and saying, "Oh my God," and rambling every 2 seconds. Let's continue. Anyway, so it's been like a long standing, like the public at this point already knew. And so everything that she does from this point forward, people are like hyper focused on. But this one got me bad. Okay, so
I was reading ahead and gasping.
So this is a paparazzi picture of Travis, his daughter, and Kylie. Look at his shoes, okay? Yes. Look at the size, look at the color, look at the stature.
Nike, blue and black, got it. Air Force Ones.
Look in the background of this picture that she posted.
I would say those are the same shoes.
I'm no genius, but it definitely looks like the same shoes to me. And then more pictures of his shoes. I think he likes those shoes.
The thing that you would need to look for here, or does she have those shoes?
Look at the size of them. They're humongous. They're like half the size of the door.
You can't tell the size of them on the floor.
There's this guy on Instagram that he can tell the size of something just by looking at it. And one of the main things he does is compare it to things in the background. That's like half the fucking size of the door. So that's not her shoes. And what are the odds that we're like speculating that she knows him, and then she just has some giant pair of shoes that he obviously likes to wear a lot in the background?
And the same sweatshirt.
It's all too coincidental. She was at a Halloween party that he hosted. I mean, guys, she knows him. Did we already establish that she knows him? We don't need to like...
I mean, I think she's not like a hometown friend, but I think that's how he plays it off. if he's even trying to play it off.
She goes way too deep into this.
Oh my God, you guys, if you want to go down a wormhole, there's a lot here.
Well, yeah, I know that there was rumors before that apparently he cheated on her and like that then she had like trust issues with him going on tour and stuff like that. I had heard that, but I didn't know that there was a specific girl that we were talking about, and apparently this is it. Oh, and apparently... We will not be getting into this, but there is this obscure theory that they both refer to each other by using the code word bacon on social media because they both randomly will use the word bacon.
Ro and Travis do?
So there's like some random times where he'll be like, haha, bacon, and it won't make any sense in the sentence or caption, but he puts it there and they think that like that's a thing that they share, as well as a teddy bear emoji. I don't know.
Does she do that?
They both have said things about bacon. But I mean, come the fuck on.
I mean, the fact that anyone is looking hard enough to figure that out is a little concerning.
That's insane. Okay, we need to skip to present day. This is ridiculous.
Oh my God. This is the longest thing I've ever seen.
This is in 2019, so I know we're trying to get to present day.
We're still 3 years off, but we're getting there.
One of the things that happened was that Kylie tweeted, people apparently saw her dropping off some of her friends at a recording studio where Tyga was at. So then people started speculating, she's back with Tyga. That's what's happening, blah, 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 blah.
Bunch of winners.
Yeah. She tweets that that's absolute bullshit. I just was happening to bring my friends to a studio where he was at. Then Ro, for some reason, this is why I'm like so confused because I don't know how she fits into this.
Like,
or Tyga. I think she might be friends with Tyga. I don't know.
More
like,
sense.
What the fuck? Well, how does she fit into this? But she says none of these rumors are true. It's just the internet creating a false narrative. Please stop spreading lies and leave us alone because it's affecting real lives. Thank you. Was she with Kylie? The fuck is happening? I don't know any of this. Oh, okay. I totally put it together. You know, every so often a tweet will go viral and then it'll kind of like start going viral again. That's happened to me before. I had one picture with Hershey, my dog, go viral, and like every so often it just started going viral again. I'm like, what the fuck? But anyway, so that's what happens with her pictures, Rose pictures they like start putting all the stuff we've already looked at, you know, the pictures where they were at the same place. And that would go viral every once in a while. And I guess she was very annoyed by that, essentially. And so she was just saying that none of that's true. And at the same time, Kylie was also dealing with being told that she was seeing Tyga again. Yeah, so it was all happening at the same time. That's why I was confused. So it's actually kind of bringing me flashbacks to our last episode because when she mentioned like leave us alone, it's kind of like the nanny when she's like Jason left us.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're not actually involved, but cool.
But I guess she got called out for that because she deleted that Instagram story and then she posts this that says, none of these rumors are true. It's just the internet creating false narrative. And then she puts, please stop spreading lies and cuts out the other part. Doesn't even try to match the font size and says, leave him, her, and I alone.
Which I would say collectively means us.
Yeah, exactly. And then Travis addresses it and says, it's really affecting when you see false things said about you. Once again, these false stories about me cheating are just simply not true. Focusing on life, music, and family at this moment is what's real. So, you know how like when people have issues like publicly and then you're trying to keep it private and then it kind of all bubbles over and you just like diarrhea of the mouth type of thing? Never heard of it. But it seems like in October of 2019, Ro had one of those moments because there was a lot of things that she did, a lot of like obscure Instagram posts just talking about publicity and people and things like that. And then she posted this on her story. It's literally like how do you read this?
What the fuck you and these
I know.
fonts, Ro?
But she said, tired of biting my tongue.
Cryptic.
I know. She said, and she of course had to put this in a color that was super close to the background color so you can't read shit.
I've done exactly what was asked of me when it was asked of me. Even changed the first statement because they wanted it to say leave her alone when I didn't want to out of respect for her feelings. Remained honest and respectful through all of the bullshit. Didn't try to make $1 off this horrible situation that I was wrongfully dragged into. Fuck this font. I've done right by this evil family, and they're still pulling out all the stops behind closed doors to block every opportunity that comes my way, even though it has nothing to do with them. That's where I draw the line. Is evil family referring to the Kardashians?
It is. Yes.
Believable.
Here's what I'm getting. She knows obviously allegedly. She knows, like, yo, we've known each other forever. Don't try to pretend we have not. Yeah. And then she feels like the Kardashians maybe are making him do that, or like pushing him to like pretend she doesn't exist or something. I don't know. Basically, so she's saying, I've tried to do everything by the book. I've tried to do everything the way you want it, and it's not enough, blah, blah, blah. So then we start getting YungSweetRo, if we should call her that, which everyone seems to get to that point with the Kardashians. Kanye's super at that point, but he's also just at the point of complete fucking disaster. But she posted to Instagram stories and said, I wish the truth would just reveal itself. It's frustrating knowing it never will because everyone's either scared, paid off, or aware that there's no way to come out victorious when dealing with these people because they have so much control in so many places, including the media and consequently the minds and pockets of the public. Yikes. Then she posts this where it's a DM that she got that says, they've blacklisted Jordan for every large company too. Look at her page and you'll see how few companies work with her. You're not alone. Jordan being Kylie's ex-best friend who was like exiled for kissing Tristan. She responded to this and said, but I didn't do anything wrong. Literally a victim of the internet being crazy. Then she just kind of keeps going off again. She says, not to say Jordan did anything wrong, just saying they're completely different situations. I'm not speaking out of spite or being salty over extra money I didn't need. What I'm doing with my life is much greater than being an Instagram model or fraudulent reality star. Yikes. It's just sad to see how someone with all that money and fame is still concerned with little insignificant me, someone who's done nothing to her, and have so much jealousy and envy in her heart that she'll try to block a complete stranger from doing better for themselves. This is y'all's idol, an insecure, petty, manipulative con artist. Holy shit. But the president of our country is a complete clown, so I get it. This must have been at Trump times. The world's ending, LOL, okay, bye. So allegedly Kylie blacklisted her, essentially, is what happened. And what people say happened also to Jordan. So behind the scenes, it's not necessarily Kylie straight up being on Twitter like this girl's a bitch, but allegedly with her power behind the scenes was blacklisting this girl for being the other woman with Travis.
Okay, so wait, this is back in 2012. It says that Travis did an AMA on an old Tumblr account.
What's an AMA? Oh, ask me anything.
And someone said, is Persian Barbie your girlfriend? And he said, ha, LOL. And I'm going to assume Persian Barbie is YungSweetRo.
Okay, we're just going to jump through all of the shit they have in this Reddit because, I mean, you can go for days and days. If you have nothing to do tonight or today when you're watching this.
If you want to do your own deep dive, wow, there's a lot
of hyperlinks. We'll link it below. I mean, honestly, a lot of effort. Kudos to you. But we're going to jump to 2022 because we don't have all day. But basically, the reason why all of this is relevant again is because Travis Scott was at a music video that was apparently not his own music video. And he posted pictures to his Instagram story. And then Ro posted Instagram stories on set as well, where he was at that same video shoot, which yes, she is an Instagram model. Yes, she's been in multiple music video shoots.
They clearly run in the same circles.
Right. But that being said, if you've had this much drama and speculation, even if you don't cheat, like if he never cheated with her, but she is the other woman in the public's eye, it's just like, maybe we shouldn't hang out anymore. I would give every benefit of the doubt if Travis hadn't jumped to posting on his Instagram story and saying the most suspicious response ever. He says, it's a lot of weird shit going on.
Wait. Then we also just said that like when there's actual serious things he needs to address, he never does.
It's the same thing with people like men who cheat and stuff. Like, have you ever confronted a man who cheats? They just kind of like babble like, I don't know. And they jump to respond because they're so stressed out and nervous. I feel like that's what happened now. And I feel like this is the most ridiculous response, but he says, it's a lot of weird shit going on. An uninvited person was sneaking photos on what was supposed to be a closed set while I was directing a video. What?
I'm gonna stop you right there because he's claiming that someone like broke in and like trespassed on the set, but then was hanging out in Video Village watching.
Is the uninvited person the one that you've known for almost a decade? Like, what are you talking? She's not uninvited. He said, I'm saying this for the last time. I don't know this person. I've never been with this person. So please stop with the continuous cyber games and the fictional storytelling. Even if you want to take away every instance of speculation, like pure speculation of, oh, this background looks like their background, or this kind of looks like this. Take all of that away. She was backstage at your show, bro. You've met her. You've met her.
Even if you took everything away, uninvited person on set, she's taking a picture of the monitor. Like, she wouldn't have gotten that far. Like, a rando that like snuck onto the set wouldn't be like right up there in the middle of the action. Like, are you kidding?
So fucking dumb. Just the first sentence of, it's a lot of weird shit going on. It just seems so guilty to me. So obviously this triggered her, you know, and she's like, fuck you. Like, how about that?
Understandably
And she
so.
posted a series of Instagram stories.
Because also, that's not a straight up like tagging her like this person is a liar, but like everyone knows who you're talking about. And now you're sending all of these people to go call her out and claim that she's like a psycho that like was coming onto set.
Yeah, I feel like people might underestimate how many people do that, but it's the first thing people do. When you're associated in drama publicly, anything you say that even remotely seems like it could be linked to someone, it's like, oh, you're talking about this person because it's the only person they think you could be talking about. So people went to her page and then she decided, fuck you guys, I'm going to post these stories.
Okay, so what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna lie on me because I've been good. I posted whatever fucking story you guys wanted me to post. I pretended I didn't know you, went along with whatever fucking narrative you guys wanted to.
So this is what this says to me. Maybe he didn't even invite her to the video shoot. Like maybe she like, because it's clear she does run in the same circles. Maybe she just shows up and like he didn't say anything. And then she posted and he put like it became clear that they were both at the same place. And then it's Kylie or someone in the Kardashian camp was doing damage control. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Why is this girl there? And he's like, oh my God, I didn't realize she posted anything because he thought he was going to get away with it.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't think they were there like having sex in the car outside like Ned and Alex. Like, I don't think that's what was going on.
I feel like he's doing like over the top damage control because he thought he got away with it and he didn't.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely been with me when fucking everybody's seen you with me, when I have pictures and videos of you with me. Come on, sir.
I mean, thinking of like the skiing or the snow
that
ones,
one was bizarre.
Like they're clearly on the same trip.
If it was any other situation, okay. But on the same days, you're in a place that looks the same. It's impossible. And I'm sorry, but if someone's going on multiple trips with you, allegedly to like Tempe, Arizona, to this place where it's all snowy, to Sacramento, all these places, you know each other really well. Like she's not just some bitch that whatever, fuck it. Like I'm just see her when I'm in town.
I just like, could you imagine be like, even if you weren't like, if they haven't hooked up in years, maybe. And that could be the case. Like maybe they hooked up and stopped and like he's never even cheated on Kylie. But they kept in touch because they're still like close and they still have this kind of weird relationship thing. Could you imagine then having him just denounce, like, I don't know her. She snuck on
that's what's so
set.
insulting.
Like,
it's like, even if they're not doing what people think they're doing, it's like, don't fucking say you don't know me, make me look like an idiot. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, like at least just say we're friends.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
That's how you know it's more serious because they could easily just be like, we're friends, we've been friends for a decade.
But no one's gonna believe that.
Or like even fucking this Valentine's Day, I saw you, I ran out the door, and you had every single girl I know blowing me up like Trav's asking for you to come back. Are we pretending that didn't happen too?
So she throws out this Valentine accusation. And he, of course, has to run to address it.
Which he does in a very interesting way.
Travis Scott posted this picture of a table. It looks like it's set for two.
But it's also in his camera roll. So it shows the time and date. And it's February 14th at 8:09
What a
PM.
time. There's so much room for activities before and after that.
I wasn't aware that Valentine's Day was only at 8:09.
But he says, if you wasn't at this table on V-Day, then you wasn't with me.
Also, sir, no one's at that table right now. So
she then posts DMs between her and a friend, and she is trying to discuss with this friend, like, was it the 14th? Like, why is he saying it wasn't? Maybe it was the 15th. And the friend posts from her camera roll proof that they were, it says, no, you're right. This was the 14th. You're not crazy. She quoted the TikTok that's like, maybe your brain is all scrambled from all the Molly you take.
It's from Euphoria.
Oh, I only know it from TikTok. She says, you were at Gunna's party on February 14th, aka Valentine's Day, and the screenshot shows like 1 a.m. after the dinner, after Kylie's like asleep.
Wait, but does it say February 14th?
Yeah.
So that means it was the day before.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
You're right. But technically everyone's right.
I mean, so it's not Valentine's Day. It would have been February 13th.
Technically everyone's right. So like she is right that on Valentine's Day, aka into the night of February 13th, which is technically February 14th, she says that they were at, she'll show in the next screenshot. Hold on. Let's look.
I will defend Travis in this very small
it's obviously like a nuance that got like it was like a misunderstanding on all parties.
Yeah, that it wasn't like he was asking her on like a romantic Valentine's Day or anything.
Right. So he allegedly went partying the night before, went to Gunna's party, and then allegedly she got these text messages from people that were at the party that said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "We just left." And he says, "Trav's ready to link." So she says that when she left the party, Travis was like asking multiple people like where she was going and where she was, and that he was ready to link. So you know what that means. Essentially, that's where we're at. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. She said something else we need to address. Hold on.
Imagine trying to convince the internet that you don't know someone and that someone has a bunch of naked videos and pictures of you. Can you imagine if I was one of those bitches?
And you had every single girl I know blowing me up like, Trav's asking for you to come back. Are we pretending that didn't happen too? Like, come on, you cheat on that every single night. The whole city sees it. Don't do this.
So she says it.
Travis, Ned.
I think all famous men cheat. I know that's such a bad mentality and maybe is not true, but I just feel like they do, especially musicians.
I hope it's not true, but it honestly, musicians and athletes.
Oh, athletes. I would never date an athlete.
But I'm like, you're always going to get caught.
Well, I don't think they care.
A lot of them, I think, do have also open relationships. I think, like I said earlier, I think a lot of the time it comes down to they care much more about the public perception about what's going on than they actually care about the cheating in the relationship.
I honestly, and it's sad to say, I think that to find like Steph Curry, for instance, that he's like obsessed with Ayesha Curry. There was one video where I saw a girl sitting on on his lap and I like panicked. I was like, oh my God, he cheated. Like I thought somebody had caught him, but it was her. And he's just like obsessed with her, always like gassing up his wife. I think those men exist. I just think they're an anomaly. Like I don't think they're common at all.
No, I think that they're an exception to the rule.
Unfortunately.
It has to do with what their lifestyle is. If there's maybe an NBA player that like, maybe if they don't drink or they don't like do a certain thing, then the opportunities wouldn't present themselves maybe as much as they would to the ones that are going out.
You even see like men in everyday lives going to work and just being in an environment where they're around women every day, period. Even just coworkers. And women do it too, obviously. Women cheat as well. For some reason, people give into that temptation so much on its own in everyday life when you have to go home to your husband every day. But imagine you're a comedian or a musician. You get off stage and like, you know, when you go to a show, you would like do anything to meet that person. Like if that person invited you backstage, you'd just shit your fucking pants. And they have that every
That's what I said
night.
about during the Adam Levine thing. There was like, they could literally just DM, like just scroll to people that have already DM'd them and then just be like, this one.
Comedians do it a lot. Comedians will be like, oh, come see my show. And you go see their show and you know.
Because it's an easy in without it needing to, like, that could be an innocent, like, oh, just come, stop by. Like, it doesn't have to be a sexual thing, but it always probably is. I think a lot of the time also, it seems to have just a huge correlation with like traveling. Like, as soon as someone leaves the zip code, they are able to compartmentalize their relationship and just be like, this doesn't exist.
Yeah, sadly, if a lot of people aren't reminded of their partner every second of every day, they like forget they exist. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Yet another cheating episode. I know so many people are going to be like, God, you guys went on for fucking ever about that stupidity. But, you know, you guys wanted to. I got a lot of comments about the Travis Kylie thing. So there you go. For those of you that wanted us to dive into it, there it is. I think that everybody's looked at my hideous beast of a face enough in this episode. My bangs keep riding up. My forehead isn't even white. This is just a mess.
My head's so itchy. I need to take it off.
I can't wait to burn this wig.
Happy Halloween. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what you thought of our costumes.
And what you're dressing up as for Halloween.
Yeah, I was going to say, tweet us pictures of your costumes because we would like to see, because I'm not doing anything and she is being Mario or Luigi. We don't know.
I'll let you guys know when I find out.
Also, wait, guys, I'm more saying this as a reminder to us because it doesn't really affect you, but next week it's episode 20, so we need to have cake.
We do need to have cake. Oh my God. Some people said they also wanted to like get cupcakes or something and celebrate with us. So have your cupcakes ready next Sunday.
Next week.
All right, guys. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye.